Hello and welcome to my first ramshackle, rough and ready vlog for the religion of self-enlightenment. It's a book written by me over the course of 10 years, which is now getting rave reviews, which I'm going to show you. I recently took place in this, a local authors showcase at Waterstones in Cambridge. That appeared in this newspaper here. On page 15, my highest ever page number. I've also appeared in the Cambridge Independent, the Cambridge News and the Cambridge Independent. The Cambridge News had some very kind things to say about me. On page 27, my lucky number, there I am in a lovely dress. A couple of years ago when I had very long hair. And the Cambridge Evening News says, 2 years ago, Emily Shalom's debut novel, The Religion of Self-Enlightenment, was released, but it has taken until now for it to become a cult sensation, with positive word of mouth causing it to sell out at bookshops across the region. Her novel has taken critics by storm, with many drawing comparisons between her tale of a man who starts his own religion after a near-death experience with revered works of literature such as Catcher in the Rye. How kind is that? Equally kind, we have this, which I've handed out across Cambridge to all and sundry. If you buy one book in your life, make it this one, says one reader. This book helped me, says another reader. I also appeared in the Magical Times, talking about near-death experience in literature, of which you'll hear more in a minute, because apparently, according to this magazine here, my book is a classic of near-death experience literature. So here I am in the Magical Times, talking about my belief in reincarnation and so on and so forth. I can't find it. This is the perils of live TV. There you go. There I am, suited and booted, talking about reincarnation and near-death experience. And this magazine here, which is distributed around Glastonbury, called The Oracle, says, this book is a classic of near-death experience literature, and one suspects that the author herself has gone through such an experience. I haven't, but it's very flattering that you have such belief in me. It is also a classic of spiritual emergence, how conventional reality breaks down and one is confronted with the liberation of not knowing. The liberation of not knowing, I like that. So that's a brief summary of my experiences with the media thus far, limited as they are in some ways, in other ways quite mind-blowing. Speaking of mind-blowing, I saw a medium a couple of days ago, or I spoke to one on the phone, and apparently I'm going to be a celebrity, which is really exciting. And I also have some big news to announce. Jazz hands. I'm about to go on my second tour of Britain, mostly to do with education. I have attended schools, colleges, universities around the country, and I've contacted all of them to ask if I can go back and speak to students about my book and the process of becoming a published author. So look out for that in the near future. I'm going to read the first page of my book now. The aim of these videos in general, it's going quite well so far, I just have to say that. I haven't stuttered very much, have I? I haven't offended anyone. And I'm about to read the first page of my book. So, the aim of this is to read a page a day and to talk about the page if necessary, and to ask you what you think of the page if you want to reply as well. So we can potentially start a discussion around this book, which can feature all of us engaging in ideas about belief and philosophy. I don't know if that appeals to anyone out there, but I'm quite keen on the idea, so let's roll with it. Chapter 1. He was the kind of person who has forgotten why he is here. He was boring, and proudly so. Every ounce of ingredients the world has thrown at Carrick had been thrown onwards into his life's oven. The result was horrific, of course, just not to other people. Yet because this was a segment of Carrick's realities, opinions he courted fiercely, he almost managed to sustain the impression that he was that death of all deaths. "Okay. How are you?" they would say. "I'm okay," he would reply. But there was no reason for this, because in truth Carrick could never be anything other than extraordinary, and there was never a single, dreary, rain-soaked moment of his life in which he could possibly reduce himself to the depths of being merely okay. If Carrick had his way with how you saw him, if he could really orchestrate your mind, he would make you believe the idea of understanding him to be something of excruciating pain. This was a measure aiming to prevent people from becoming close to him. For when the sun rose, he would make a conscious decision to reveal nothing it could not shine upon. He sometimes lost himself in sadness, but aside from these lapses of raw choking sorrow, he was fine, drained of emotion and devoid of desire, but fine. He understood that this is how you should live. He had seen it in the newspaper and in the eyes and words of the people he met, images of war and rape, the violent condemnation for violent acts, the hatred of who really and genuinely are. That concludes my reading for today, and I'll read the next page tomorrow, and if anyone has any thoughts about that page or anything I've said in this video, then feel free to comment. Obviously there'll be almost no activity on this page for the time being. I'm hoping that in the future it will build up a fan base, however, and I really want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to people who do follow me and have followed me for years and take the time to listen to what I've got to say. Hopefully there'll be some exciting situations coming up, and I look forward to sharing them with you. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.